was a little yellow school bus. And on this little yellow school bus, I sat in the third row, and we would always pull up to this stop. And at this stop, it would be amazing, right? Because everyone would go quiet. All the kids would do that shh, like you guys are doing right now. They would do just like that. And we would see out of the dark area where these trees were, this dark area, this gloomy place, that this little kid would walk over to the bus, get on the bus, and the bus driver would pull off and we'd all start talking to him. And day in and day out, Kimberly, they did this over and over again. And then one day, this kid got off the bus and left something on the bus, and so I was trying to be brave and not thinking. I jumped off the bus, ran over to him, and said, "Hey man, you forgot something." But I was scared because where I was standing, I could hear voices, I could see things, and I didn't understand what was going on. So I asked this kid, "Hey kid, why do you go through this dark area, right?" And he said, "It's just a shortcut, because over there on top of that hill is my house. And the people you hear laughing are my brothers and my buddies and my friends and my sisters and the people that I grew up with." And in so many ways, Dehl, that's what Dehl is going through right now. He had his bus stop. And he's not in a cemetery, he's merely passing through. Because in heaven there are many mansions and many rooms within those mansions. And if it were not so, wouldn't Christ tell us differently? But Christ said, "Hey, listen, I have a place for Dehl in heaven." And while he's in heaven, everyone's laughing and joyful. And his Father is saying, "Hey, job well done, my good and faithful servant. Come home." So I heard the pastor say earlier, we all have many questions as to how we may be viewing this. But for me, this is purely a homegoing celebration. Because if Dehl were to be able to speak at this moment, and to see all of us together, and to see all of us enjoying the food together, laughing together, and just enjoying each other, he wouldn't be sad. He would probably say, "Yo, this is mad love." And so I'll end with that, but I do have to ask this question. It's in the Bible, right? Death, where is your victory? Where, O death, is thy sting? See, Dehl was my older brother. He's my stepbrother, but he treated me just like his brother. And I grew up with him and Daryl, and I'll share one story that I probably shouldn't share in church. But Daryl and Dehl took me to Tijuana, Mexico with them one day to go party. And the brother was saying earlier that they could party, and they knew how to party. And I tried to hang with them, and all I remember is waking up at the border patrol, right, to go back to America. And the border patrol person says to us, and he'll ask that question, what's your country of origin? If you say the wrong thing, you could be in a lot of trouble, right? So Daryl was like, "Say Mexico." Wake up, TC, say Mexico. Say you're from Mexico. And that would have been bad because I would have still been in Mexico, right? But Dehl said, "Nah, man, don't do that to the boy. Tell him you're from America, amen." And then Dehl spoke up for me. My little brother is drunk. He had too much, but he's with us. And he's always said that about all of us. We were always under his protection. We were always part of his family. He was always the arms around all of us. And I know right now that God and Jesus are embracing him, holding him, loving on him. And that's something to be very happy about. And so Daryl, big brother, you have a mantle to carry, but you've always carried it, bro. My little sister Victoria, who's back there with the locks, Dehl's youngest brother, always so proud of her. And Kimberly, I know he loves you. I didn't have a chance to meet you until today, but he's always spoken so highly of you, and I had a chance to call him over the weeks and pray with him, and he's always spoken about the love that you shared and all of you guys have shared. So thank you from my heart, for my brother, for someone who's in heaven rejoicing.
Okay. Let's see, where do I begin? Where most of you had 20 plus years with him. I knew him in high school, but we didn't hang together and know each other well. March 2012, he walked into Spirits West with Denise, come see Denise Morrison like we all did. We chatted a couple minutes, no big deal. Over the next month, we hung together more over Aaron Mossman's. We had a couple little parties like we did when we were 16. And we started to have a friendship. May 8th, 2012, he walked into my house and he never left. He helped me become a better mother to my two beautiful nieces. And he gave me a love that no other man is going to give me. And I gave him the love back. And even though I wasn't the one that took care of him the last 4 months of his life, I made sure that Tanya and I talked every day, that I knew what was going on. I took myself and put it on the back burner because that's what he wanted, not because it's what I wanted. And he did it to protect me and my children. And now that my pieces of my puzzle took me this long to figure it out, to this week, after talking to him last Saturday night, I realized that. We had a love that was like no other love that anybody has. And no, we were not married, but we were married. And although, like I said, I may not have been there, I was there.
You were there.
And everybody wants to sit here and ask me how I do and what I feel. My faith has kept me strong. I've been rocked. In the past 4 months, I've lost my father, and I lost him. But my faith never wavered. And I know many of our friends have been mad at God for taking him. But what you all have to understand is though, if you took people that you don't care about, and I've had this conversation with many of my friends, if he takes the man on the corner you don't know, or he takes that guy in a city that's getting high, you don't care. But God did this to teach us all a lesson. If you were battling something in your life and his encouragement and his courage helped you, if it made you love a little harder, if it made you realize what you had in your own family and in your own home, then God did his job in your life. He will never be forgotten. No one in this room will ever forget him. And it was 6 degrees of separation, and he used to tell everybody that I was the girl version of him. Because if I didn't know him, he knew him, or we knew him together. But I want to thank all of you for every bit of support, prayers, everything that you've given all of us. Because when I would post things on Facebook, that was a big help for him. That helped. When he would read 105 comments or see 300 likes on something, and all the prayers that would go out to him, that kept him going. And I want to thank you for that. So, like I said, the love that I had with him will never, ever fade. And it will be with me for the rest of my life. And the love that my children have for him will be there forever. So thank you all for everything that you guys did for us and for me in the last 10 months. Thank you guys.
How you doing? We're trying to hold this together as best I possibly can. Ty and I were blessed to have Dehl stay with us the last couple of months of his life, and it was great. It was great. I would get up in the morning and I'd go downstairs. 5 o'clock, he'd be downstairs, and he'd be awake. And before I left every morning, I'd walk up the steps. Say, "I love you, brother." And he'd say, "I love you too, man. You guys do what you do. I'll be here when you get back." And he was. And that Friday, it was a long Friday, because about 11:30 at night, Dehl started having trouble. And I was up till about 3:30 in the morning with him, and I had to go to work at 5. So I was up, and we had changed his room around so he could be upstairs for it to be easier for him to do whatever he had to do, but he couldn't do anything anymore. That was his spot. He had to stay on the couch. So I slept on a chair, and when I got to get up in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go into his room where he was going to be staying for the remainder of his life and straighten it up as best I could. And at 5 o'clock, when I got up,
All right, can I hold up for a second?
yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please. This family right here is the family that told me and my mom not to leave Dehl in the hospital. They said put him in hospice care. They put Dehl in hospice care. It's like a hotel, but it's a hospital. Tanya and Brian said, no way, telling me and my mom, no way, don't put this guy. We will take him into our home and take care of him. And they did, man, they opened up there. We couldn't do it. I got my mom and I got Kevin to take care of. I gave up everything that I had out in the West Coast. I could care less about that life out there. My family's out here. I'm suffering. I couldn't take care of Dehl. This family right here, I don't care what anybody who knows Dehl knows that he would give everything he could to help his love. It paid off, man, on the end. This family opened up their beautiful home. And Brian's trying to speak, and I know that, everybody's leaving and stuff like that, but like Dave said, I've been through a whole bunch of different stuff in my life, made a lot of changes. But I didn't think that me and Dehl could ever find as much love for a friend just to open up their house to let him pass peacefully and beautifully. So let's give this man the respect that he deserves. Everybody who knows me, my posse over there, everybody who knows me knows that I have skills, talent, love, and affection. And I'll do anything. I'll give up my, if the devil popped up right here, he's in trouble right here. So let's give this man respect that he deserves, all right? Let's do that. Let's give him the respect that he deserves.
So, every morning I'd get up, I'm the first one up. My girls like to sleep till tomorrow. So I would get up, I would go to work, and as I'm going up the steps, I love you, man. And he'd say, I love you too, brother, and I'd go to work, go do what you do. And like I said, that Friday, at about 11 o'clock at night, is when, things started getting a little rough. And myself, Dehl, and Dehl would sit there, and we got to watch Breaking Bad to the end. We finally got to finish that episode, all of them. We watched Outlaw Street Racing. But so that Friday night, it got rough around 11:30 at night. And I was up till 3:30 in the morning with him. He finally got to sleep. I went to work. I called my wife, was out of town, and I said, I think you should get home because it's getting bad. So I went downstairs, and God bless my son-in-law. Drop of a dime would come up, and no questions asked, would help and done whatever he needed till someone else was there. And so Saturday, I got home, and there was Amy. Finished cleaning the room up, spick and span clean, man, bleach, all that. And so we got Dehl into his room, and we tried to, got him in a wheelchair, took him into the room, had to take the door off the hinges. And he said, man, you might as well just leave them off. He said, because when they come and get me, we're going to take them off again. All right. So 8 o'clock that night, I couldn't stay awake anymore. I'd done been up, 36 hours, whatever. It didn't matter, So I went upstairs to my mom's, and I got some rest. And it was probably about 8:30, maybe early. I can't remember the time, but the dog started going nuts. So I'm like, man, I can't sleep. So I go downstairs, and who is it? Everybody. that was a blessing. You know, I don't know how many people get to say goodbye, and maybe didn't know it was that final goodbye, and nobody had any idea. Kimbo and Dehl, they got everything resolved between those two, and that to me was one of the biggest blessings. You know, because I know she was hurt. You know, and it wasn't to hurt her, it was to protect her, and that's one of the great things that I thought that those two got out of the way. You know, and that was it. And then, you know, of course, Sunday morning, everybody knows what happened, you know? But that's all I had to say. I was, you know, everybody let's thank Ty and I for everything. We were blessed. We were blessed to have Dehl in our home, to change our lives, to watch this man struggle and fight for his life. And you want to complain because you got a sore throat? You have nothing to complain about. And still to this smile and the positive stuff that he had on him. And he knew what was going on. Yeah, he would tell us, man, I'm dying. I am dying. But we'd still sit up there, and I loved it. Just sit up there and we'd watch TV. But the only thing, you know, Dehl loved racing. I was okay with racing. Except for that one Friday, I came home and I came in the door and he was like, 24-hour Le Mans! I was like, really? But that's all I had to say. I want to thank you all, your friends. These guys are great. We'll never forget you, Dehl. Love you, brother.